what the narcissist feels when you say no. You ought to be aware, by now from my work, that the narcissist requires the prime aims. That is fuel and control, character traits, and residual benefits. The two most important aspects of those 4 items are, of course, fuel and control. Fuel is our lifeblood. It powers us, enabling us to feel powerful, causing us to achieve, to be motivated, to do those things which need to be done, and it is the glue which keeps the construct together. Control is required with regard to anybody and everybody in our fuel matrix. All appliances must be under control or be brought under control. Accordingly, there are many things that you will do, often unwittingly, that threaten our control, either through wounding or the provision of challenge fuel. And if you want to understand more about those types of interactions, then you can do no better than go to the Knowledge Vault and obtain the 3 interactions with the narcissist. This gives you more detail. What happens, though, when you say no to a narcissist? The narcissist wants you to engage in some particular sexual activity. You say no. The narcissist wants you to hang out with them that evening. You say no. The narcissist asks you, "Do you love me?" And you say no. Where your response is a negative response to the request, demand, assertion, requirements of the narcissist, then of course this amounts to a threat to the narcissist's control. If you say, "No, I'm not doing that," you complete moron, you've just provided challenge fuel, because the nature of your words are negative fuel, and if you said them in person, inevitably the look in your eye, your facial expression, your body language, and your tone all convey negative fuel to the narcissist. And whilst there's no problem with the fuel that you've provided, because we need that, your no, and of course calling the narcissist a moron, threatens the narcissist's control. If you write a simple no in a text message, you wound the narcissist because there is no fuel with that response. Of course, the wounding is minor because it comes only through the written word. If you issue a simple no on the telephone to the narcissist, again you will wound, unless you convey emotion in the saying of the no. But if it is done with flat effect, no fuel is provided, and you wound the narcissist. If you say it in a way that you're upset, or angry, or irritated, or frustrated, you will provide fuel, and thus it becomes challenge fuel instead. Where you say no to the narcissist, whether it is through the provision of challenge fuel or as a consequence of wounding, and wounding would be more rare because usually you do convey fuel to us when you're interacting with us, particularly in person, then what happens is you challenge the narcissist's sense of control over you. This is completely unacceptable. What is going on beneath the surface is this. When you threaten the narcissist's control, the narcissism in effect says, red alert, appliance, threatening control, threat must now be nullified immediately. And the narcissism will then select one of the 3 assertions of control, possibly moving through all 3, dependent upon circumstances. Invariably, the narcissism will select a direct assertion of control. And so, in those circumstances where you have said no to the narcissist is stood in front of you, or is perhaps on the telephone with you, and will respond through a direct assertion of control, a hoover, in order to get you under control and nullify the threat that you have posed to our control. Depending upon the type of narcissist you're dealing with, the response might be that you are shouted at and told you better do it or else. It might be that the narcissist turns on the waterworks through a pity play. It might be that the narcissist resorts to charm. Come now, surely you really want to do this. Perhaps you haven't thought this through correctly. And therefore the nature of the response, be it a benign or malign manipulation, depends upon the type of narcissist you're dealing with. The lower echelon narcissists are more likely to respond at first with a malign manipulation against you because of the necessity of imposing that control against you as quickly as it can possibly be done. The narcissism must get you under control. Higher echelon narcissists are more likely to use charm to begin with before moving to something malign. But either way, you will be subjected to a manipulation for the purposes of gaining control and nullifying the threat that you have caused to that control. So that is what is going on with the narcissism. And of course, where it is a lesser or mid-range narcissist, the narcissist doesn't know that these are the mechanics. The greater or the ultra does. We recognize that this individual is threatening our control and we will not tolerate it. And therefore we select an appropriate response to nullify that threat. But what is the narcissist actually feeling when this happens? Well, with a lesser narcissist, it's going to be irritation, annoyance, fury at the audacity of you to say no to them. They will feel that rising fury within themselves that you are awkward, ridiculous, a pain in the ass. They will be thinking they don't understand why you have to be so difficult. They will, of course, not recognize that your response may be entirely necessary, because the narcissistic perspective will demonstrate that it's not. The sense of entitlement causes the narcissist to rampage forwards. The lack of accountability means that there can be no downside to our behavior, because we cannot be held accountable for it. The absence of emotional empathy means that whatever we have suggested, no matter how distasteful, no matter how unpleasant or rude or demanding or stressful, that doesn't matter. You are expected to comply. And the unaware, lesser narcissist with no facade will respond in a brutish manner, thinking that you are downright awkward, a pain in the backside, unhelpful, useless, and will respond more usually with heated fury, shouting at you, insulting you in a nasty way, possibly grabbing you, imposing physical violence. A mid-range narcissist is more likely to act in a but-hurt manner. But why won't you? I don't understand why you have to be so difficult. Their fury is felt also. And with a lower mid-range narcissist, might well manifest as heated fury. With middle range, A and B, you're more likely to get the cold fury manifesting. The response, which is of being upset, crying. And the narcissist truly believes that you're behaving in a hurtful way, and that they are hurt, that they are disappointed with you, genuinely let down by your behaviour, that they can't understand your intransigence and your unhelpfulness, particularly, of course, when they have been so helpful to you, that they feel that it is unfair. Inside, of course, although the narcissism is causing the unaware narcissist to believe they feel a particular way, they don't. So whilst it causes a lesser narcissist to feel and think that the appliance, i.e. the person, is difficult, awkward, a pain in the arse, and the mid-ranger is made to think and believe and feel hurt by the unhelpfulness of this person, the hypocrisy of this person, the downright indecent behaviour of not helping them, refusing their suggestions and advances after all that they have done for that individual, then of course in those circumstances, that is what the narcissism causes those narcissists to feel. But what is actually happening is that they feel crushed. They are led to believe that the hurt that they feel is the hurt that you might feel when something goes wrong. But actually, they are experiencing the manifestation of that loss of control, the threat to control, a sinking sensation, a feeling as if the world is starting to develop a hole that they're falling in, a sense that they're going to drop into free fall, that things are uncertain, and there is this frantic scramble dependent upon whether accompanying fuel is provided and their existing fuel levels to get you under control. It is akin to the narcissist's feelings if they're about to slide through a trapdoor. And although they believe that they are experiencing righteous indignation, they believe that they are hurt by your behavior, what they're feeling is the manifestation of a lack of control and not the sensations that you would experience. For the greater and the ultra, we recognize it for what it is. And it is a simple case of indignance. How dare you not continue to succumb to my control? In some instances, we almost find it entertaining that you're railing against us, that Kitty's got claws, and that you're trying to use them against us. And our mindset is one of, who do you think you are? Although, of course, whilst we're thinking that, we may well be smiling that reptilian smile at you. And of course, we are thinking, very well, if you think you can go up against me, watch what happens next. And we relish the opportunity to squeeze you, to put you under our thumb and press down, to bring you to heel, to ensure that you don't come under control, that we're mildly amused by this show of resistance, this show of intransigence towards us. Yes, we feel the threat also to our loss of control, the sensation, but it is a much milder version of that which is experienced by the lesser or mid-range narcissist. And instead, whilst we feel that and we know why we are responding, it is with a degree of, you cheeky little bugger, thinking that you can do this to me, and then relishing the opportunity to get you back into line, bring you under our control once again, and to show you who is master. Saying no to the narcissist adversely affects us. And of course, once you know that you're dealing with a narcissist, you shouldn't be engaging with us anyway. But where you say no to the narcissist, you threaten our control, either through wounding or more usually through the provision of challenge fuel. This will spark a response from the narcissist with regard to the assertion of control, and what the narcissist experiences, feels and thinks varies dependent upon the different types of narcissists, as I have explained. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.